Hi everyone, this is a video. I was just smiling there for the thumbnail. This is going to be a vlog update, not specifically a reading vlog, although I will include reading in it, but this is just more of a vlog update of everything that's going on. I've been talking about what I'm going to do with my channel for a while now, and one thing that I know I would like to do is to take it in all different directions, and so I feel that this vlog would be a good start for that because I can touch upon many different things that have been going on. So let's begin. This is going to be a reading vlog that will cover from the oh gosh, I got to work out where we are actually. It will cover from the 26th of nope, I have the wrong date. I am so sorry. Just 1 minute. This is going to cover from the 21st of August through to today, which is the 4th of September, my time in Australia. So if you're American, it might be the 3rd. Okay, so let us begin. On the 20th of August, I released the video Time to Say Goodbye because of things that were going on. Yeah, so, okay, on the 19th, for those of you who are new, hello, welcome. Mr. Fancy doesn't edit these days. On the 19th of August, I received a phone call to let me know that I had a new job, and I found out about it last minute on Friday, so basically around about 5 p.m. on Friday, the 19th of August, I found out that I had a job, and this job was going to begin right away at 8:30 a.m. on Monday. So there was not a lot of time to prepare for everything, but I very quickly did a video saying goodbye to BookTube because this is a full-time job that goes from 8:30 to 4:30 Monday to Friday, and so I very quickly said, okay, I have to say goodbye because there's no way that I can keep up my BookTube channel with what's going on with work. So I did that. On Monday, which was the 22nd of August, I went in to work and there were a couple of things that concerned me. So without getting into too much detail, my role would be to do data entry work, which is fantastic for me because I can do data entry work without thinking too much. I use computers every day. It's the perfect sort of job for me. I went into the workplace and they showed me the computer that I was going to be using to do the data entry work. And what surprised me, and this was literally in the first 5 minutes, what surprised me was that there was a monitor and there was the PC section. So the monitor and the PC section, but there was no keyboard and no mouse. And I was thinking, okay, that's a bit weird. This is my computer, but without a keyboard and a mouse, let's see how things go. So then I was given a tour, and then I was given to someone who was going to train me for a bit, and they did. I think they trained me for about half an hour. And then after that, I was basically sitting there, and the big boss came in and spoke to me and said, sorry, it's going to be a bit slow going at the beginning. And I said, no, that's totally fine. And then for the rest of my time up until I had a morning break, I really wasn't doing much of anything at all. I came back from my morning break and as I said, there really wasn't a lot at all for me to do. And so the boss called me in and said, look, I think we may have started you too early. I don't think we're exactly ready for you yet. Now, this really surprised me and the person that got me the job, because what was communicated to me and to the person who got me the job was that they needed me first thing Monday. Keep in mind, I was told that I got the job at about 5 p.m. on Friday. I was needed first thing Monday. And the person who got me the job actually asked if we could have a little bit more time so that I could, have more time to prepare and all of that. And the response that was given was, no, we need him now. We need him to start right away on Monday. So the fact that they were unprepared for me and not ready for me was really surprising. So the big boss ended up calling the guy who set me up for the job, and let's just call him my agent. So she called my agent. And she said, look, we really don't have much for him to do. To cut a long story short, we hung up from the agent and she found work for me to do for the rest of the day. But when it came to doing actual data entry stuff, I end up doing it on someone else's computer who wouldn't be there for the rest of the day. It was just a temporary thing. So we got to the end of Monday, and the boss told me, okay, you know, uh, you can go now. Um, but she said, don't come in tomorrow because we need to have your computer ready to go before you begin, which makes sense to me. I mean, I'm literally there to do data entry. So if the computer's not set up, I mean, how can I do my job? So that's fine. I went home. I kept my manager in the loop, saying, yeah, this is what's going on. I end up being there for the whole day because in his mind I was going home halfway through the day, so I was there for the whole day. But I'm not going in tomorrow. But hopefully things will be ready to go on Wednesday. So that was fine. And I basically just spent Tuesday waiting around because there's not really a lot you can do when this is just one day that you have and you know that you're going to work the next day. So I was just waiting around doing whatever, this, that, the other, not a lot really, just watching TV and stuff like that. And then on Tuesday night, I was told from my manager, well, they're not actually going to be ready for you on Wednesday. And I'm going to cut a long story short because I do want to talk about other things here, but since day one, I have not worked. And that has been incredibly annoying for me because it feels like I've gone from taking 50 steps forward to taking 100 steps back because I literally worked for one day. And I'm technically still employed with these people, so I'm in a bit of a bind at the moment. But all I can literally do is wait and see what is going on, and hopefully something will come about to change things. In the event that it doesn't, I feel like I might as well come back, at least to YouTube. I don't know if I would come back as a booktuber or not, but at the very least to come back to YouTube and do videos because I might as well while I'm waiting. So at this stage, I would like to do more of these unedited discussion type videos. If y'all are up for them, let me know. And while I have the time, I might as well, because I'm not doing anything else while I'm waiting. So, yeah, it's like good news and bad news at the same time. It's like, yay, I have a position, but I've only worked one day. So, it is what it is. Alrighty. So I am considering whether or not to do a monthly wrap. It might be an idea to do a monthly wrap. So I won't go into every book that I read in August, but I will say that I at least read 5. It might have been more, and I started. Well, no, that's not true. I planned on starting one of the 3 books. For those of you who saw one of my recent videos, my TBR for the rest of 2022 video, I was saying that I'm planning on reading 3 books a month, and so that starts now in September. I planned on reading the first of those 3 books in August, and it just didn't really happen. And then in September, so far I've read only a little bit of it, but really not enough to even say anything. So I guess I'll just show you the book that I'm reading, and that is Lemon Drop Dead by Amanda Flower. This is book number 6 in the Amish Candy Shop series that I love. For those of you who know me, you know how much I love Amish Candy Shop. So yeah, really excited when I do get some time to actually sit down and read it. It's a very tough situation. I don't think anyone can truly appreciate or understand the situation fully unless you're in that situation where you're literally going day to day with the expectation of going, yep, but I'm going back to work tomorrow. And so you can't really plan ahead too much. But yeah, we'll see how we go. But yeah, one of my goals for the month of September is to read and finish Lemon Drop Dead by Amanda Flower. And then I have these 2 Del Toro Quest books that I plan to get through, The Shifting Sands and Dread Mountain. I don't know which is which because I'm not seeing what number they are, but that information is available out there somewhere. So I'll be good to go by the time I start reading them. But yeah, that's basically the plan. As far as how much reading have I done since my goodbye announcement, not a lot at all. I finished Murder Makes Sense, and I spoke about the top 10 things that annoy me about Cozy Mysteries, part 1 and part 2, this book is the book that motivated me to do that video. I had an hour left once I was hired for my job, and then it took me about a week to get through that final hour of this book on audiobook, which says so much because I don't remember the last time I had an hour left of an audiobook and it took me a week to get through. I honestly don't remember that ever happening. So yeah, so that was interesting. And by the time I got to the reveal, I didn't remember half the characters. The book let me down, honestly, in many ways. And I guess since I'm in the book portion of this video, then I'll just quickly give you some thoughts. I'll give you more in the monthly wrap. But this is the second book in the Nantucket Candlemaker mystery series by Kristen Brecker. I loved book one, despite the fact that it's definitely not the typical type of cozy that I love. I love cozy mysteries that are more cozy leaning than they are more mystery leaning. And this series so far has been, well, if you want to give a percentage, it's like 94% mystery and 6% cozy in both books 1 and 2. But I loved book one. The mystery was so engaging, and despite the fact that I do prefer a much more dominant cozy mystery, the fact that book one in this series was more mystery dominant didn't take away from my love because the mystery was so good. But in book two, it just really wasn't. The book starts off with our protagonist being in Paris, which really confused me because she lives in Nantucket, and part of a cozy mystery is to be in a small town. And so the fact that we're literally in Paris made no sense to me. It does make sense the more you read, because something happened in Paris that kind of becomes the mystery later on. Okay, there was a long time between pauses, so I don't know where I stopped at, but my basic point was that book one was, the mystery itself was so incredibly exciting that I couldn't wait to get onto book number two, and then book number two just really ended up letting me down. While I understand, I think I was saying this, while I understand why they were in Paris, because it does tie into the mystery itself, the actual mystery didn't intrigue me at all, and the cozy side just couldn't make up for it because it was severely lacking. It's 95% mystery. 95% mystery, 5% cozy. It just did not work for me. But yeah, I'll show you the other books that I read in the past month, in August. But I won't go into any sort of detail about them. I'll save that for the monthly wrap. But I also have Restaurant Week's Murder by Libby Klein. Death of a Country Fried Redneck by Lee Hollis. The Housemates. Sorry, I'm doing really well holding these. The Housemates by Ian Rob Wright. And The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. And just giving you a very quick overview. Didn't like this one. Loved this one. Loved this one. Loved this whole series. The what's it called? Haley Powell Food and Cocktail series. Love it so much. This one, I'm trying to remember specific. Oh yeah. Sorry, now I'm thinking The Competition, which doesn't give away anything because I'm just saying the word competition. But yeah, the cozy side was great. The reveal was well done. And then this one annoyed me. So I think I've only read the 5, unless I listen to something exclusively on ebook. Sorry, not on ebook. I don't read ebooks. On audiobook. Let me just check that and confirm. Boy, am I glad I checked, because I didn't read one, but I read 2 books that I don't have in physical form that I listened to on audiobook. So I'm not going to be able to put them up on the screen because I am currently in the situation of not having time to edit. But yeah, if having no job continues for a while, then maybe I will. But I'll just tell you their titles. So the first was Cheddar of Dead by Karina Moss. And I believe I gave that 5 or 4 stars. I'll double check for you. So Cheddar of Dead by Karina Moss, I gave 4 stars to that one. And the other one was Scene of the Climb by Kate Diaseely. I really did not like that one. And so I'm sure I gave it a low rating. I'm just checking. 2 stars. Yeah. But Scene of the Climb, if you want to know why I didn't like it, feel free to go to my Goodreads. I raved and ranted about why I didn't like that book, and if you're a part of the Discord sprints, you would know too, because I complained a lot in the Discord sprints about Scene of the Climb. So many reasons why it just wasn't for me. But yeah. But I thought that Cheddar Off Dead deserved 4 stars. So there you go. That's a brief overview. I'll give you more when I do a monthly wrap, if I get time to do a monthly wrap. All right, so now let's talk about the next thing, writing. Yeah, so I, for all intents and purposes, I didn't achieve anything writing wise over the course of the 2 weeks. While that is not exactly true, I did start penning a new book, and I think I didn't stop to put in chapters, but I would say I probably did about 2 or 3 chapters worth of a new book that I was writing, and I was really enjoying that too. My goal is to try and finish off the cozy mystery that I've already started. So, have I made any progress on that? No. If I had taken more time to consider goals and things, then I think my TBW, my to be written for, what are we in? September, would be about 1,000 words. I think that that is an achievable goal if I break that down to 1,000 words divided by how many days there are in September. I think that's achievable at this stage. But yeah, just haven't done a lot of writing, and the writing that I did do was on another book. So that's kind of how that went, and hopefully I can keep myself a little more accountable with how my writing is going moving forward. So now I'm going to move on and talk about TV, because I've had time. So I've watched some TV more than I have in a long time. So some of the shows that I watched, shows that are over, that have been cancelled, that I was just, or have finished, that I was just streaming. A great example of that was Two Broke Girls. For the past couple of nights, I have been binging Two Broke Girls. I think I'm up to season 3 right now, and I love that show. I think that I don't know if the show would hold up to this day, because there are some valid complaints that have been made about the show. For those of you who haven't seen it, I'm not going to go into the point of that, because that would be a whole nother video of like everything wrong with Two Broke Girls, or my opinion on certain scandals that have come up with it when it comes to TV. So I'm not going to do that here. But there are some complaints that this series has had, and I do absolutely understand where those complaints are coming from. But I think as a show overall, it's a good show, and I think it can teach people a lot of good things. So yeah, I am enjoying it so far. The two main characters in the show remind me of me and a good friend of mine. I am very much, if you've seen the show, I'm very much like Caroline in the friendship that I have with my friend, and my friend is very much like Max. The only difference between myself and Caroline is I did not come from a rich background, but I mean just more in personality. Max has this dry wit and dry sense of humor that my friend definitely has, where Caroline's the one to kind of smooth things over, and the way she thinks, and yeah, all that. So yeah, that's kind of funny. I have to think what else I watched. I was up to date with Big Brother. I was Big Brother US, because I don't watch the Australian version because it's not worth it. But yeah, I was up to date with Big Brother. I think now I'm about 2 episodes behind. I mean, look, it's been interesting watching last season, with, I'm just gonna say these words, with the cookout. Last season of Big Brother was very interesting, and I appreciate it, and I've seen multiple seasons of US Big Brother, and I do like it, and I absolutely prefer it over the Australian version. But I don't know. There's something about this season that's not exciting me as much as normal. But a spoiler that's not a spoiler for the game itself, but a spoiler in any case. So, yeah, I'm going to put my hand up, and maybe you can turn the volume down while I say it if you don't want. No, this does not impact the game at all. This is a spoiler that's happened outside of the game that does not affect the players. But if some kind of a spoiler will spoil you with Big Brother, then wait till my hand goes down. But 3, 2, 1. They brought the live crowd back. They brought the audience back, which made me so happy. What a difference when the housemates leave. It's like, comparing last season, for example, when the housemates would come out to dead silence and, Julie would just be there going, okay, air hug. Where now they actually have the crowd out there and they can cheer and scream and all that. And gosh, it makes such a difference. So I'm so happy they brought the crowd back. Okay, hand going down. Oh, wait. Yeah, hand going down. But yeah, as far as the actual show itself and the strategizing and all that kind of stuff, yeah, I don't think that it's the best season. I will say, however, that the twists have been good, especially the last twist that I watched, which, what can I say without giving away spoilers? Which talks about a divide in a certain way, if I say that. The divide has been interesting. I'll leave it at that. Oh yeah, because I did see that eviction show. Like, what can I say? I did see that, and I liked that twist a lot. Moving on. Yeah, so that's that. What else have I been watching? I have been wanting to get up to date with American Ninja Warrior. That has not happened yet. I think I watched one episode of this season and that's it so far. So just, yeah, haven't caught up. But I want to because I love American Ninja Warrior. What's her name? Jess Lebreck. Love her. And, who's the guy? Adam Rail. Love him. Don't even know if he's in this season. But yeah, I love Ninja Warrior because I love the idea of some sort of a physical competition, but a physical competition where it's a singular person. I know tennis terminology, so to use tennis terminology, it's singles, not doubles or whatever. So it's not 1,000 people on a field trying to bash each other's heads in. I mean, maybe going a bit far there, but you know what I mean. With normal sports, this is an individual competition, and so it's all on them. And I love that, despite the fact that the competition is extremely sexist, and I don't like that. That's something that I don't understand, and I'll get into that in a minute. But I do love the fact that Ninja Warrior has men and women and they complete the exact same obstacle course. And it doesn't matter who you are or what slight disadvantage you might have. If you want to get through, you're going to have to get through the course just like everyone else. And I really do appreciate that. But one complaint, and I won't spend a lot of time on this because I would need to do a whole video, but to keep it brief, a complaint that I have for the show is because of how even everything is. No matter who you are, everyone does the exact same obstacle, at least that day. They may change it in the next episode, but at least for that one episode, everyone does the same obstacle course. I don't understand how women are judged different to men in that it's like, oh, this woman fell on the third obstacle, but because she made it furthest fastest of all the women, she's automatically booked a spot. Wait, hang on, what? No, and I don't even think Jess Lebreck or any of the other women who have been around for years, like, I don't know the name, so I apologize, but like the Tarzan lady, and who's the other one? Sweet Tea, and then there was the one that won the women's American Ninja Warrior women's event. I forgot her name, but that one. I feel like with these women, they are so good that we don't need to do that. If you want to get through, get there, get furthest fastest. Not just furthest fastest woman, but furthest fastest of either gender. And because, nothing else is, there are no other advantages in the entire thing. If you are too short to jump up and catch onto one of the handle things or something and you fall because of your height, that's the way they see it in the show, is that's on you. You didn't jump high enough on the springboard, when the reality is you're too small to be able to catch the bar. But you couldn't get through the obstacle course, so unfortunately you're not going through to the next round. If we're not going to give advantages to people who I think clearly deserve it, because if you have a shorter person there, they should do something to at least get them on the bar. Once you're on the bar, you're on your own. But anyway, if you're not going to do that, then why are you giving advantages to the women? In my mind, I think in the last season I watched, so not this season, but the last one, I think Flex Lebrec did so well anyway that she, I'm going to say final, but I don't know what round it was exactly, but I think she made it into the final despite the women's rule. Like, she would have made it there anyway. So, yeah, I don't necessarily like that. But anyway, my point is I haven't really caught up on American Ninja Warrior. I've seen one episode and I need to see more, but I do love that show for the reasons I've said. What else? Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. I've seen the entire first season. I thought it was okay. As someone who absolutely loved Pretty Little Liars, the original show, like, I could talk about Pretty Little Liars all day. I love that show. Pretty Little Liars Original Sin, for those of you who don't know, is it's not really a spin-off. It's hard to say what it is, honestly, because while it's called Pretty Little Liars, it is written and directed and all that by people who were not the original people. So, and these people were passionate about the original show. So the only promise they made was, we're going to try and keep it the same vibe because we know what the PLL, Pretty Little Liars, audience loves. So we'll do that. But there's going to be a lot of differences. And there definitely are. I had a number of complaints with the show. First of all, the lighting is horrible. It's meant to be a horror version of Pretty Little Liars, and while I get that, and while I understand that it makes sense for the lighting to be different because we're dealing with a horror as opposed to a mystery, I did not appreciate the lights being as dark as they were. And not for the sake of that it's a horror and it's freaking me out. I just think it would have looked better had we had the original lighting that we had for the original series. So that kind of annoyed me. There was also a moment, I'm not going to say what it was, I'm not going to say who is involved, so I'm not spoiling, but I will make a point. There is a moment where two characters go to Rosewood, which is where the original Pretty Little Liars is set, and we come across a character or two that we know from the original show, and the actor was a completely different person, and that just really upset me because we could have completely avoided all of that. Like, we could have just skipped those scenes. The scenes were integral because they need to go to Rosewood for a reason, but we could just have a scene where they're discussing going to Rosewood and then a scene when they've come back and they go, okay, we went to Rosewood and this is what happened. But I don't know, they tried to pay homage, however you say it, to the original series, but it just didn't work for me in that way. I think the main character, who I don't remember her name, but the main character in Pretty Little Liars, the originals or Original Sin or whatever it's called, did a great job. I think all the characters were great. They were definitely unique, and I appreciated that. But I am very intrigued to see where things go from here because, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen from here. There's a whole lot I can't say, so, because, I have to do videos on these shows so I can go into more detail. But, yeah, I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen from here. What else have I been watching? I can't even think. Oh, AGT, America's Got Talent. I was up to date, but I'm now behind. So I think last week I was up to date except for the 2 episodes that came out last week. So I need to see them and then whatever came out this week. But yeah, I mean, I like AGT. There are some things that are annoying me that never used to in the past. First thing being for me, there are way too many singers, and seriously, I'm sorry to everyone who loves singers on these Got Talent shows because I used to be like you. If we want to talk about people like Laura Breton, I love her. She was a singer. She was so good. And many others I'm trying to think of. I can think of Laura Breton at this moment. But yeah, there are some incredible singers that the show has had in the past. But I think for me, singing is kind of the expectation. So when acts would come out to audition and not sing, I appreciated it more because it showed more diversity. But yeah, there have been some wonderfully talented acts that have come on the show, and I have a lot of things that I can unpack with AGT too. I feel like certain portions of AGT are rigged, and I know that a lot of people don't want to hear that, but I feel that some things have shown me I am definitely someone who, wants to stay, pure and innocent and not think about what goes on behind the scenes. And I am someone who loves reality TV. I already spoke about Big Brother, but if Survivor was on right now, I am the biggest US Survivor fan. I mean, I feel like I'm bigger than some American fans, but anyway, and I, of course, mean the American version. But for the longest time, I have been telling everyone, no, none of these shows are rigged, they're all real. And then I started noticing things this year with Masked Singer, which is the only Australian show I watch. I was watching that going, yeah, this is definitely rigged, and now I know how. And same thing with America's Got Talent. So there's not a lot I can say. We don't have a lot of time anyway. But if you'd like me to unpack certain things that I brought up in this video, let me know. Leave them in a comment, and maybe I'll in the comment below, and maybe I'll just make a whole video on that, or a video on a couple of the things that you all would like me to discuss with you. But yeah, I'm starting to see the rigged side of America's Got Talent, which is unfortunate, but it is the way it is. I think I can already call who the winner is going to be, and if it is that person, that would surprise me. Where when I watched, I'm just going to say a name because it's been a number of years, so hopefully it's not a spoiler, but when I watched Darcy Lynn, I did not know necessarily that she was going to do as well as she did, so that surprised me. But in this situation, I feel like I can go, yeah, it's going to be you. There was one elimination that surprised me. So I'll put my hand up quickly and say the name quickly. So turn the phone down or skip ahead. I'm going to say it when my hand goes down, then we're done with spoilers. The elimination that shocked me the most, considering that I feel that AGT is rigged, was the elimination of Maddie. So keeping the hand up and covering my mouth to say the name, the elimination of Maddie. Because when that person was eliminated, I was like, hang on, wait. I assumed it was going to be rigged and you would be in the final two. I never picked that act to win, but I was like, you're going to be in the final two with the one I know is going to win, and that one will win, and then that one went home. I'm like, okay, did not expect that. But yeah, otherwise, there have been some amazing acts, and yeah. Maybe we can go into that next time. I think I should wrap things up because this video has gone on really long. But yeah, if there's any topics that you would like for me to discuss that I have mentioned, or even if I haven't, let me know in the comment section below and I'll make videos on those too. Remember, I'm trying to expand the channel, so when I'm available, it won't always be about books. It'll be about all different things. Alright guys, letting you all go with peace, blessings, and so much love. Please do spread your sparkling energy all throughout the world. And until next time, bye everyone! Mwah, bye!